On this note, I really want to reaffirm the mistake of the southeastern governors, especially the time of Omar Hidem, Obianodem, even to the point of Hope Uzodinma. You know, the mistake they made is a mistake that is very painful. I know that for political reasons, they will not recognize the gravity of the mistake they made. But when they don't have power any longer, someone like Obiano, I think he will understand what he did. And I know he will be regretting it. Today is Monday, the 6th day of April, 2026. When the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and the issue of agitation in the Southeast started getting a different look. When I mean a different look, an agitation that has been peaceful, before you know, it seems that it has been characterized by violence and so on and so forth. At that point in time, I knew that this is not about Nnamdi Kanu IPOB. You know, for over the time, the federal government of Nigeria and the southeastern governors have been looking for a way to have Nnamdi Kanu drop his agitation. They approach Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu do speak with some governors like Obiano then. Like, he's not violent, like he doesn't want evil of them, but he was resolute to what he was looking for. I want a separate state from Nigeria or a total restructuring. That was his two messages. A total restructuring or a separate state, because we can't continue like this, where Bala Mohammed, we've been importing Fundanese from all around the world, saying that they are his people, his brothers, and coming here, these people are coming to Ebonyi State, going to Kwara, going to everywhere, committing crimes, terrorism act, going inside the bush, raping our mothers, and so on and so forth. This was the message of Nnamdi Kanu. And because of Nnamdi Kanu, some governors like former governor of Benue State, what is his name, who joined the G5 governors, Samuel Otom. So Samuel Otom have that guts to reject that Ruga and open grazing that time. That was a very calculated plan to infiltrate all parts of Nigeria. It was rejected because of Nnamdi Kanu, because people were listening to him. So these people have to make a move, do calculation, and there was a message. Use Igbos to fight this man. Use his people to fight him. Operation Python Dance could not stop him. So many things they did could not stop him. So they have to start arming boys, calling them IPOB, ESN. Like this, and I'm telling you, governors knows what I'm talking about. In fact, Hope Uzodinma could not hold it at a time. He told us that you saw this insecurity. It is government-sponsored insecurity. It has nothing to do with IPOB. So they started doing it, and these people, if you see some of them, how they were able to operate and they are still free up to today, ask yourself question. Government is dangerous. Like government, after God, you see government. Government is dangerous. How these people were able to operate and they are still free. Why the innocent people are in prison? That is one puzzle that people have not solved up to today. So they started arming people, started destroying the name of Nnamdi Kanu. You know, if they catch these people, they say IPOB, catch these people ESN, and so on and so forth. I'm telling a story that southeastern governors will regret. So they played this role very well. And I am not ignorant that Nnamdi Kanu formed Eastern Security Network as well, a vigilante group. Like today now, you see vigilantes everywhere. He did that. And the purpose was to protect people who are being ambushed, being killed in the farm. And David Omahi came to appreciate Nnamdi Kanu and said, if not Nnamdi Kanu, in my state, people will not be entering bush. This is a story people have forgotten. People have forgotten, like when rain was beating them and so on and so forth. So they did that till they proscribed IPOB, because Nnamdi Kanu didn't, succumb to their dictates and what they want him to do and so on and so forth. So in trying to stop him, they created enmity monsters, and I think clashes started coming. And you have different groups inside. They brought in Asari Dokubo, they form a Bubago. Then the boys they arm are also there. You see the Nigerian army, then you see the part of the real IPOB. So they were clashes. And these people were still operating while people were sitting at home. You will see that the military officer will see you and ask you, you're not sitting at home. Today, sit at home. You will see checkpoints like every 1 kilometer, but crimes are still happening every 1 kilometer. Who is doing that? There are so many questions that was left unanswered. Now, why am I bringing out this issue? Why is this thing running through my mind every day? Why is it that I keep on thinking about this? I'm saying this because Nnamdi Kanu is the only one that have the solution to curtail this kind of madness and war we have in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu's idea and his pattern was the only way to stop all this nonsense going on. Tell me now, how can you stop the killing in Plateau State? It's more than a decade. In Benue State, more than a decade. Continuous killing. Soldiers are speaking in tongues. Police are speaking in tongues. The government are speaking in tongues. They will tell you that they run out of idea. They will tell you that they will stop it. Every now and then, I assure you. No, you can't assure people beyond your agenda. Like, you hide something and you start helping someone to look for what you have hidden. The person will never see it. So people who are saying that they are going to counter the insurgency, insecurity, stop everything, but look at the other part of it. They are the one helping it to, to succeed. So how can they stop it? Now, I know that so many people don't like what they saw. When I mean what they saw, what the media programmed for them, what they allowed them to see. They did not see the other part of it, that Southeastern governors were sponsoring people, calling them IPOB and ESN because they want to destroy Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody saw that part. And that is what they are going to regret. That is the painful part of it. And as I speak to you now, the whole states in the South have been infiltrated. Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, all these ones. Now, these people might not, start killing the way they are killing in Benue now. Why? Because they have no seen threat. They believe that with their strategy that they can conquer your state. That is why they are not attacking you. If they see any threat, anybody who is telling them the truth, who is trying to oppose the ideology, they will start attacking. Now, let me tell you one thing. Alex Barbier, that American humanitarian in Plateau State, the Tinubu's government see him as a threat. The Fulani terrorist sympathizers see him as a threat. Both people from the Southeast who are sympathizing with terrorists see him as a threat. You know why? Truth. He was telling them the truth. He was exposing facts and everything. Anytime you see that these people are not fighting, it is because they do not see threat. They believe they can conquer you easily. They are everywhere. Any place they are not attacking you, they believe they can conquer you easily. So that is the situation on ground. And I think that the Southeastern governors, they made a grievous mistake that they are going to regret. They are going to regret it. If they have allowed Nnamdi Kanu to continue his agitation without violence, without them putting violence in it to indict him, like by now, people would have come and sit down and say, how are we going to go? Let's have a referendum. Let's amend constitution. That was what Nnamdi Kanu was looking for then. Restructuring, amend the constitution, allow people to control their security. Like, he was making sense. And that is the only solution. But after some time, principles of infiltration have taken place. And he said, we have crossed the Rubicon, like point of no return. Everything he said today is coming to pass. Now, you're watching me. Tell me, how do you stop this? How do you stop this that is going on in Nigeria? Everyday bloodshed. Just answer me. How are you going to stop this nonsense that is going on? I want people to answer me. How are you going to stop it? It's not saying that, oh, this one is not good. This one is not good. This. What have you done? And how are you going to stop this? You see the way they try to scare Alex Barbier. They try to scare him. That was the day that was the way they were angry against Nnamdi Kanu. Now, let me tell you the plan these people wanted to use against Alex Barbier. That was the plan they used against Nnamdi Kanu. Since this guy is here, let us increase violence and indict him. That was what happened. But don't forget that Nnamdi Kanu warned you of everything going on today.
The same Fulani are the ones now making incursions into the Middle Belt. People, I am trying to build a foundation, a preamble to tonight's gospel, that you may understand everything I'm saying perfectly well. Those now making incursions into the Middle Belt are Fulani, not Hausa people, under the guise of one Nigeria. You must understand this very clearly. The reason why Swedes, or should I say people's land, are being taken from them is because you are in a place called one Nigeria. Any day you understand this simple, should I say, conundrum, that very day you will begin to do something to remove yourselves from the zoological republic. I tweeted before I came on air because the governor of Niger State, or should I say Niger State, issued a statement where he said that bandits are daily sacking our villages. Understand this very clearly. Bandits are daily sacking our villages. This is a supposedly north, but of course it's middle belt. The reason why I tweeted that most of the Janjaweed on my Twitter handle could not understand is this. Niger State is Nupe territory. My sympathies lie with Nupe people. I used the word Niger, or should I say the phrase Niger State, so that people can understand what I'm saying. I am talking about Nupe people. They are not Fulani. They are not Hausa. They may have been forcibly converted to Islam during the trans-Saharan trade routes, from Arabia. Or some of them forcibly converted, because the throne of Nupe land was usurped by the Fulani. I want people today to use even ordinary Niger State. I want people to reason for once, please. The same thing now happening to us that we are repelling all right across Biafra land happened in Niger State to Nupe people. Before that, it happened to the Gwari people. Before that, it happened to the Birom people. Before that, it happened to the Bachama people. Before that, it happened to Hausa people. The only people that managed to put up a resistance till today are the TV people from the Middle Belt and also the Karanem Brono people from today's Brono State. But of course, they're fighting a losing battle without all of us putting our hands together to say no to these excesses of Fulani Janjaweedism in the zoo, Nigeria. What happened and why did I tweet? I said that my sympathies lie with the good people of Nupe, I should have said, not even Niger State. Let me make it absolutely clear. These nonsensical, rampaging Fulanis everywhere, killing, slaughtering, and forcibly taking over our land, these same people that jettisoned and abandoned every trace of federal character in their selection and in their appointment, these people that gave themselves majority in terms of the numbers of the people who are in Nigeria by way of census, these same people that control both houses of national legislature, so to speak, these same people that are in Asorok, these people that control the Air Force, the Navy, these people that control the Army and the police, these same people that control even ordinary fire service, they control customs, they control civil defense. Everything is in their care. Everything is in their care. They have taken over everything. They own NNPC. Everything is theirs. They are the ones unleashing mayhem, death, and destruction upon, should I say, idiotic indigenous populations by virtue of their docility and idiocy over the years. The Fulanis have managed to encroach. And now, they came even to Ibariam. They entered into Ebonyi State, if not for the gallant work we did for nearly 4 years. Without mentioning it today, Ebonyi would have been immediate Yala Fulani terrorist territory. The USA must listen without prejudice tonight. The US ambassador must listen without prejudice tonight and convey this very message to the US government. Because I know that Barack Obama is wielding inordinate influence over Biden's regime. That is a fact, and we must speak it here. These people came to our land and killed somebody fighting to keep his ancestral home together. Now listen to this. This is a headline news from Nigeria. IDPs are refugees in their own land. They gave them they perfumed the name refugee and came up with the word, should I say, the name IDP, meaning internally displaced persons, rather than refugees in their own land. This was what Ikonso was fighting against. For people to understand. The reason why people of Imo states today are not in IDP camps is because of Ikonso and the gallant men behind him. Because of the entire Eastern Security Network Command in Imo State. I want people who are listening, especially those who are Igbo Biafrans, especially those in Imo State, to understand what I'm preaching tonight. It is because of the lives of Ikonso. That is why what is happening in Makurdi, Lafia Highway, exactly the same. They don't listen. Some of you in Ebonyi before never knew what was happening. You never knew the sacrifice that IPOB was making to keep Ebonyi safe from Fulani Janjaweed. You never knew until recently. None of you till today know what Ikonso had to pass through to keep Imo State safe. Let me tell you where there is no ESN, what is happening. Let me tell people where there is no IPOB, what is going on, what Fulani is doing with them, because some of you don't understand what is happening. You have no idea. Now listen very carefully. IDPs block Makurdi Lafia Highway, protesting killing of 7 by headsmen. Now listen, the Fulanis went to their villages and drove them away. The government could not send the army or soldiers to go and guard their villages, even ask them to return to their villages. No, not at all. They are in the south killing people, killing innocent people. And I want the USA, the US ambassador, the British High Commissioner to understand what I'm saying tonight. Highway, because they are in refugee camps. The media in Nigeria hardly ever talk about this. In